Hey everybody, and welcome back to the one and only r/EntitledParents. But honestly, we don't have a second to lose, so let's get into this first post by user/McMoozy. Well, this is not the experience I thought I'd have on my way home from the office this afternoon. But alas, here we are. While enduring my afternoon commute, I decided to stop at the old Walmart to pick up some cat food to avoid having to do it over the weekend. I usually make a point to shop at Bullseye and avoid the Walmart tomfoolery, but Walmart was closer and I was tired. I walk in and immediately experience the cacophony of Boxing Day that I'd completely forgotten about. The customer service desk line was past Subway and down into menswear, and the checkouts were an absolute nightmare. I had half a mind to turn around and leave, but I resigned to tolerating it now than dealing with a potentially worse situation on a Saturday. I made a beeline for the pet section, find the biggest bag of the brand I'm keen on, hoist it over my shoulder, and off to checkout I went. As I made my way over, I glanced past the employee station sections and peeked at self-checkout, which was even more of a mess. I decided to interact with another human in Walmart for the first time in months. As I'm standing in line, I eye a Red Bull in the cooler at the end cap and snag one. I'm perhaps the third or fourth person in line at the lovely 10, maybe 20 items or less line. A limit that people love to test on an hourly basis, but I digress. I was moving at a decent enough speed for a day like today. I worked in retail and retail management for a collective 6 years, so I pride myself on being one of the most patient and understanding customers on the East Coast. The Karen behind me, however, was not. She had a shopping cart parked too close to my butt for my liking and frequently sighed and tapped her foot on the bottom section of her shopping cart, from the sound of it anyway, and ticked and tutted regularly. If I rolled my eyes any harder, they may have dislodged themselves from their sockets. I hate waiting as much as the next person, but what I hate even more are people who feel the need to do so and make that much noise in the process. The cashier summons the next person in line, and now there's just a single soul ahead of me. Karen huffs and puffs again and inches forward, bumping me with her shopping cart. I half turn and glance at the shopping cart and then at her, giving her a neutral eyebrow raise, hoping she'd get the hint and take a step or two back. Spoiler alert, she didn't. But it was then that she decided that either her bumping me with her cart or my decision to turn around and acknowledging her existence was the green light to bother me. And so it begins. Excuse me? Excuse me? Me? Yes, could you let me in front of you? I'm tired of waiting. I glance into entitled Karen's shopping cart. I only have 2 things, I'll be quick. Yeah, but I'm tired of waiting. This line is ridiculous. Well, I can't help that, sadly. You kids have no respect for your elders. I'm 26 years old. I'm hardly a kid. And you look about 36. You're hardly what I'd consider an elder, and you're certainly not mine. Wow, rude much? I just asked to get in front of you in line. Yes, and I heard you perfectly fine. Look, with respect, if our roles were reversed, I'd totally let you. But you have a cart full of things while I only have 2. Please, I'm just trying to wait my turn in peace. Your cat can wait. My kids are in the car waiting for me. Not a me problem. Hope they have supervision. And entitled Karen emits some kind of guttural growl or sneer. At this point, the customer in front of me turns his head slightly to glance behind him and glances at the large bag of cat food over my shoulder. Hey man, do you want to go ahead of me? Nah, that's alright. You've been waiting longer than me. Thanks though, I appreciate it. I'll go if he won't. I wasn't speaking to you. Why, I never. The customer ahead of me took his turn with the cashier, and I, now mildly exhausted from having a 20-something pound bag of cat food over my shoulder, bent forward to prop it against the checkout conveyor belt since the customer in front of me had it loaded with his items. It's worth mentioning at this point of the story that I have a license to carry, and always do, a 9mm compact in an IWB holster in the back of my pants. What I didn't realize was that when I bent forward, my bomber jacket lifted enough to reveal enough to determine what was tucked securely away. In my state, printing, the outline of a firearm showing through your clothes or anything of that sort isn't necessarily illegal. Neither is open carrying. It's just better manners to keep your concealed carry, well, concealed. Usually, this is to avoid making people feel uncomfortable or giving someone an excuse to cause a scene, which is exactly what this Karen decided to do.
You have a gun!
Me, silence with an unroll.
He has a gun! He has a gun!
I have a license to carry it. Will you be quiet and mind your business?
He threatened to shoot me! Help! I need a manager! Someone call the police!
Now the entire front end of the store is looking over in our direction, and I honestly just wanted to sink into the disgusting linoleum and fall into oblivion. The cashier rolls her eyes and picks up the phone to summon asset protection and the store manager. Asset protection arrives on the scene first, with the manager arriving a few moments later. What seems to be the problem here?
That guy has a gun and he threatened to shoot me!
Oh my lord. Mom, please come down. Sir, what's the issue? I didn't threaten to shoot her. I've been waiting in line, minding my own business. Sir, if you have a gun, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store. We do not allow guns in here. There's no postage signage stating this fact, but that's fine. I'd like to get away from her anyway.
No, I want him arrested. He threatened to kill me.
I did not.
You're an effing liar. You threatened to kill me.
You're insane and a negligent parent, miss. Your kids are in the car.
How dare you bring my kids into this? Are you going to shoot them too?
Excuse me, I'm the store manager. What's going on? This woman claims this man has a gun and threatened to shoot her. I just asked him to leave. And then the cashier, he barely said a word to her. And the shopper in front of OP. Yeah, he's been standing in line quiet, and she's been harassing him about taking his place in line. He didn't threaten to shoot her, he's barely said anything to her. Still, you can't have guns in the store. You need to leave or I'll call the police. Excuse me, I don't see a gun. Sir, what's happened? I leaned down to put the bag of cat food down, since I got tired of holding it, and my jacket must have lifted and revealed my gun. I have a license to carry it, and it was concealed. We don't allow open carry. Concealed carry is allowed in accordance with our state regulations. Sir, may I please see your LTC? I open my wallet and hand over the LTC. The store manager hands it back after looking at it. Looks like you to me. I apologize for the inconvenience. AP, meet me in the staff room in 5 minutes. It seems we need to review our policies and guidelines before you ask customers to leave unnecessarily.
No, I want him arrested. He threatened to kill me and my children. Aren't you listening?
Well, someone in the store must have called the police, because a second later, a police officer approached just as EK finished screeching. The store manager explained the situation to the officer, who then heard from the cashier and the shopper in line in front of me, verified my LTC, and dismissed me. Officer, forgive me, it may not be my business, but entitled Karen told me she left her children in the car. I don't know how old they are, but given the fact that this whole nonsense took up God knows how long, someone might want to check on those kids. Excuse me, Mom, I'm going to need to escort you to your vehicle. Karen began another tirade of screaming and arguing and ended up being removed from the store by the police officer. I don't know what happened to her or the kids. Maybe the kids were of age and could be left alone. But given her appearance and the impression I got from her, they most likely were kids and shouldn't be left alone. And honestly, I think this is a beautifully written story, and OP, you could not have done any better in this situation, so I applaud you. Round of applause from the internet. Our next post is by /the Phantom Fleru. So today, I had to take my dog to the vet for her semi-annual blood test. She absolutely loves going to the vet and was super excited to go play with all the techs. Afterwards, we walked to the pet store just down the street because she's definitely on the nice list and deserves a new toy for Christmas. Now, my dog isn't Akita, so she's pretty big and I understand that she's a little scary looking. She's also super gentle and seems to understand that kids especially can be intimidated by her, so when she sees new people, she won't run up to them, but she'll get excited and start wagging her tail. Which is absolutely adorable because it's a curly cinnamon roll. As a result, I don't feel the need to do anything like pull her away from scared people. I honestly think that only makes things worse because she'll always wait for them to close the gap anyways. So we walk into the store and it's pretty quiet. We're just walking towards dog toys and my dog is laser focused on the table of dog treats. A mum and her kid walk past and he points to my dog and calls it a wolf. Her face is all black and she's big enough that this isn't really a stretch. The mum then stops me and the following conversation happens.
Excuse me, that breed is banned. You can't bring it in here.
I'm pretty sure the store doesn't have a banned breed list. It's a pet store.
That's a wolf hybrid and it's scaring my kid. You need to leave.
I'm sorry your kid is afraid of dogs, but she's not a wolf hybrid and she's not bothering you. This whole time, we're standing next to the treat table, so the dog hasn't moved an inch closer to them. She's just staring at the food with her tail wagging.
My son is scared. You do need to leave.
No. At this point, my dog decided that these must be new friends. She took a step towards them with her tail still wagging at top speed. She stretched her head towards them, though they were still 2 or 3 feet away, to ask for pets, and the kid was just frozen, staring. The mother just picked up her kid and walked the other way. I just chuckled and we went to look at dog toys. When I went to the checkout, the cashier told me the lady had complained about my wolf hybrid, and they had to tell her that all dogs who weren't acting aggressively are more than welcome in the store. The lady was ignored and my good girl got 2 treats from the nice worker. Not a very climatic or crazy story, but I was amused that some crazy lady thought a dog shouldn't be in a pet store. And just as a general rule, I find that the bigger dogs get, the friendlier they actually are. It's the really small ones that get very barky and annoying. And all big dogs are just gentle giants. Alright everyone, that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe for Reddit videos every second day. But with that said, that is it from me. I hope you all enjoyed, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later, guys.